Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Nina Infinity, and you're here to watch the Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 3 and 4 review, breakdown, recap, whatever you want to call it. This discussion.
Roast destruction.
Roast destruction.
Yeah.
Yes.
I have a wonderful panel here with me today. As always, my wonderful friend, Jayne Theory. How are you, Jayne?
Hello. I'm doing great. How are you guys?
I'm good. Jayne, are you gonna say your line?
My line.
Say the line, Bart. I didn't do it.
Yay! Hey guys. Oh my god.
I also have this just in case you refuse. Before you introduce yourself, say your line.
Hey guys. Hey guys. Hey guys. Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Oh, that's awesome. My gosh.
That was all John's
That's
idea.
funny.
I just stole
That's
it.
too funny.
But yeah, so everyone knows Jayne, but just tell everyone where they can find you.
Yeah, so you can find me here on YouTube where I post movie and television reviews and a pop culture commentary. You can also follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram at Jayne Theory.
Nice, lovely, awesome Jayne Theory. And we also have the amazing Miss Martin Muses. How are you today, darling?
Doing great. Great to be here.
Excellent. I'm so happy that you are here with us. Please tell everyone where they can find you.
Well, you can find me on YouTube at Miss Martin Muses, on Twitter at Teresa2_Martin.
Excellent. And Scott from Sporking News Podcast will be joining us a little bit later. I'm sure he's got dad duties going on. That sounds weird. But yeah, dad stuff. So he'll join us at some point. So last week we didn't make it because it was Easter weekend and there was a lot going on. So we figured we'll just do like 2-episode review through episode 3 and 4. I got both pulled up here. So I guess, do you want to start it like talking about how we feel like overall as both episodes, or do you want to talk like single episode and then like go episode 3 and then episode 4?
I would say episode 3 then episode 4 because they were kind of different.
Okay.
The first one, episode 3, was the worst episode so far. Like
It was so boring.
So boring. Like
Oh my
I
God.
don't even understand what and they don't have that many episodes. Like that was my
No.
complaint about WandaVision was that you had wasted time.
Yes.
How do you waste time with so few episodes? I do not understand. And yet they pulled it off.
It's true.
Episode 4 to me was better. You know, we had a lot more character development, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the Dora Milaje
Mm-hmm.
scenes.
Me too.
And we'll get to it, but
Mm-hmm.
that was pretty much that, and Bucky was the saving grace of the past 2 episodes.
Yes, I agree. If it weren't for Bucky, I don't know that I would even be tuning in at this point.
Me,
Literally.
I really would be checked out if his beautiful face wasn't on the screen. I wouldn't be here. I would just be like, sorry, I'm out on this Winter Soldier, or I mean this Falcon situation. Yeah, the episode 3 for me was also extremely boring. I was like, is there something gonna happen? Like, let's go. Did you guys feel like that too?
Yeah, well, and I also felt like it turned into a very cheap ripoff of John Wick. All of a sudden, it turned into a John Wick episode. It's like, really?
That's kind of weird. There was no dogs involved. I don't know it.
There were no dogs involved, but when the bounty happened and then suddenly everyone got on their cell phones that there was a bounty and people were pointing like, oh, we're going to get you. And everywhere they looked, people were looking at their phones.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Straight out of John Wick.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, you're right. Now that I'm thinking about it. You are absolutely right. I forgot to say hi to the chat, so I'm just going to quickly do that. Belson's here. Hello. The Grifter's here. Shane. Everybody. E. Clay. Thank you guys for being here. War Dog Heim. Jimmy. Always supportive. Thank you. So I just wanted to quickly say hi to the people joining us. Please, everybody, smash the like, share the stream. Apparently, YouTube's taking away likes, so that's all very weird. But we're here. We're here. So let everybody know that we're doing this. I don't think anyone's watching this show. I think it's like one of the like, I swear, everyone I talk to, they're like, I'm not watching that show.
Yeah.
Or people have stopped watching it.
Yeah, because
Right.
it's freaking boring.
And this is not the show that you thought would be, you know? Like, for me, I had such high hopes for this particular, of all the ones they announced, this is the one I was looking forward to because the characters are so great. But no. Nothing.
Yeah, and I love Captain America, so I was like really wanting to see what happens with that character, which we'll get to in episode 4. That was a crazy ending. So what was happening here again? Oh, they're looking for the terrorists. So they're looking for those weird hand
flag smashers.
Yeah, the flag smashers, which, by the way, had like I realized they have the same like hand thingy that as like their symbol is like the same thing as in Godzilla versus Kong when he goes to like open the door.
Oh no.
It's the same hand thing. It's like a red hand.
Yeah.
Yikes.
So that was interesting to me.
Not very creative.
No, not at all. It was weird because I'm like, wait, aren't they called the flag smashers? Like, why do they have like a hand? Shouldn't it be like a ripped flag, or I don't know. Their logo needs improvement. Anyways, I'm sorry, I'm getting off topic about terrorist organization branding. But this dude, Captain America, he just keeps being weirder and weirder, kind of exhibiting like aggressive tendencies that Steve definitely didn't have. Kind of like almost a little bit, you don't know what he's gonna do. Like he'll do whatever it takes, like a means to an end kind of situation. Which I didn't think Steve would act like that. But yeah, and then of course, speaking of a means to an end, they go and hang out with Zemo. This scene was interesting to me because, you know, it kind of showed that Bucky's over everything, right? And he's coming face to face with his like actual demon.
Right.
And he's able to like control himself really well right now, like in this part.
Yeah.
Later, not so much.
Yeah, the scenes with Zemo and Bucky, those two are for me becoming my favorite parts of the show.
Yeah, I like him too. And the fact that he tried it was so hilarious. But also you could see the expression on Bucky's face. He's still sort of not exactly sure.
Yeah, that kind of
what's gonna happen.
That terror that he's like, oh crap, what happens if it really does?
Just below the surface.
Yeah, he's like, oh my God, please don't say the code words. Oh, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm still here. He's so hot. Oh my God.
Oh, well,
I did enjoy Zemo too in this.
I did too. You know, I did too. You know what's weird is I actually think that like I almost like him the best out of everybody. Like I love the Winter Soldier, but his character and his lines were like really well done. Yeah. I thought that was great. Let me ask you something, because like sometimes when I binge watch stuff, like it kind of mixes in together. Which episode was it that they were kind of talking about like the supremacy thing? Was it 4? Or was it 3?
I think it was 4.
It was episode 4.
Okay, then I have notes. I have comments about that. We'll get there. So then they, you know, he wants to break out Zemo, means to an end, all that stuff. I like this scene where he breaks out and then shows up here.
Yeah.
And Falcon's reaction was like, "What the f?"
What did you do?
Yeah, like what? What did you do?
And then he sees that he broke him out. That was awesome.
Falcon
Yeah,
is such
I
a
really
Boy
like that.
Scout in this whole thing, which is kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah.
This guy is such a good actor. Is that what his name is? Daniel Bruhl? Is that what his name is? Because I like him a lot. He's a good actor.
He's a good villain too.
Mm-hmm. He really is.
And he's always had, frankly, what's interesting is that he too is a terrorist.
Yes.
Yep. So it's like they're using a terrorist to fight terrorists.
Yes.
And the other thing too, I do like about the story, and where I feel like they had so much potential, is that they were able, or they could have been able to show that dynamic between who's a terrorist and who isn't, and to whom, because he had really good reasons to be upset with the Avengers.
Right.
And these other people have really good reasons to be upset with, I guess, their government. But I feel like the story just sort of dropped the ball in really developing that.
Yeah, it kind of goes to show like that old saying, like one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter, right? Like it's just it did have a lot of potential in showing what it is why people do the things that they do, and how they end up maybe in a place that they don't really necessarily want to end up.
Yeah, and episode 4 tried to do that, but it was too little too late, in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was just telling us, it wasn't showing it. Like, I still am confused as to what they're trying to return to. We never saw this, utopia that they were talking about. So it's difficult to conceptualize it, really.
Yeah, 100%.
And what they should have done is they should have maybe started off with a montage of what it was like during the blip with everyone gone.
Yes.
Showing news headlines or something like, yay, things suck because everyone disappeared, but look, we're doing this, and seeing all the things that happened and then seeing it being undone.
Yes.
Yes, I 100% agree, because one of the things that I really liked about WandaVision was that episode where they showed Monica Rambeau like returning, and how like it was so chaotic and everything like that, and her kind of going back to the groove of like being alive again and everything like that. They needed more of that. Like they needed more of explaining to us why things went so crazy. They kind of tried to do that at the beginning of this episode with that weird commercial when they were like, remember this one? When they were like, oh, like now that you're back, like it was kind of like a commercial showing the Global Reparation Council or
Repatriation.
whatever. Yeah, repatriation. Yeah. I felt like they needed more than this weird commercial.
I think they definitely did, because that just tells us what happened with the people who came back. But it's
also a piece of propaganda. It's a piece of propaganda.
That's the other thing too. And we know that when half the population disappeared, things did change, and they changed dramatically. But we've yet to have any medium show us this. And that's what I feel like we're missing, and that's what I want to see from one of these shows.
Yeah,
I thought that they were gonna do that here, because that episode in WandaVision like kind of gave us that glimpse, but they needed more. And I don't know who's doing the writing for these shows, man. They're just all off. Like it's like, what are you doing? Ron Cook for $5 just says, "Hail all." Well, hail to you, Ron. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for the $5. That's very generous, and thank you.
I also found with that propaganda commercial, it was eerily similar to a commercial I saw recently on Twitter of people trying to tell us about wearing masks and getting the vaccine. Like the way they had stars and people from all different races and religions. It was too close to what I'm seeing in real life.
It's
I
like
think-
that's the only thing they know how to do.
Yeah,
Propaganda.
propaganda. And that's exactly what I want to talk about when it comes to episode 4, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there. This scene was cool though, with them entering the plane. I love Zemo's outfit and like everything he's doing.
Yeah.
Like he's just like, he's so badass. Like he's a good bad guy. Like you're like,
They're
oh,
like, "Oh, you've been rich all along,
yeah,
dude." I'm a
Yeah.
baron.
I love his airplane.
his airplane's dope. And like this line was great. Like when he's like, "Oh, that wine tastes like shit. Definitely get them some," because it was like warm and disgusting.
Yes. They didn't understand what he was saying.
Yeah, that was good. See, they needed to do more of that kind of stuff that takes you out of our reality and takes you into the Marvel reality where you're distinguishing between evil dude and good dudes. And
Precisely. And the thing with comic book villains is they are comic book villains, larger than life. Comics are not supposed to be like real life. He could also be a Bond villain too. I mean, he's great.
He is. He's very good. Atomic Slash says, I thought the scene inside the private jet with Baron Zemos Butler was absolutely hilarious. If the food doesn't pass the smell test, give it to them. Yeah, I love that. I love that line. It's like, that's such a bad guy thing to do. It's great. It's great. Okay, let's see. And his look, like, it's just great.
He can't stand him.
No. Oh, this scene was cool when he kind of goes off at him. I thought
Yep.
that was interesting.
And this happens several times too, where he
It does.
you see glimpses of the Winter Soldier.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, Demogenai. Hello. Glad you're here. Yes, definitely. I love when the Winter Soldier like kind of shines through. What's weird too is he's freaked out. Like he's legit scared of Bucky, I think. There's a few times where he's like,
Oh,
oh,
definitely.
Well, he
And he
knows
should
that
be.
he's a super soldier. He can tear off his arms.
yes. But I also love his like conviction of wanting to get rid of the serum. Like he's like,
Yeah.
they can't exist. Like this is not, he's not even like tempted to take it himself. Like it's not one of those things where he's just like, oh, I just want to save it for myself, or like make another superhero army or like super villain army so that they can fight for me or whatever. He literally just, that's all he cares about is getting rid of it. So
They're the problem.
yeah, they're the problem. And I think that that's really interesting with regards to his character, because he is one of the people who created them, right? So he kind of wants to like end his creation, which is interesting. So then they go to, wait, what was this scene again? Oh, this is the terrorist scene, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This girl, I don't know what to think of her.
She's spoiler from our discussion about episode 4. When she got shot, I was happy. That's all I gotta say about how I
Me
feel
too.
about her. I was, oh, sorry about that. My mic just went crazy. It was like, get her,
Yeah,
and please die. Please
Me
just
too.
die. And not in a good way die. It's like, just get off my screen.
Is it bad that I can't stand what she looks like? Like, I'm like, they got like a ginger, weird redhead that, like, I mean, her hair kind of resembles mine, but I'm like, God, girl, go wash your hair. Like,
Well, she's biracial, and that's her natural hair. And actually, I think her hair is rather beautiful, if you will. It's just her.
I can't stand her hair. I don't know why. And it's just
Is this
because
anti-gender hate?
no, she needs to put some product in it, like fix the curls.
But that's what she's supposed to be. I mean, they're terrorists.
That's
They're
true.
on the run. They don't have like.
They're on the
Should
run.
have
No,
time
see,
to go to the beauty salon.
I wouldn't be able to leave without my hair products. I would be like, hey, do I have my hair products? Okay, great.
I honestly
See, you
don't know
wouldn't be
why
a
though.
proper terrorist.
No, I
Uh-uh.
would be like anti-frizz would be like a necessity in my terrorist kit. Like if I don't have that, I can't go.
I honestly don't know why this actress keeps getting roles, because I don't think she has an ounce of charisma in every role I've seen her do.
I've never seen her in anything else.
Well, she was in Solo Star Wars Story, and
I've never
she
seen
was
that.
in a drama version of Les Miserables. She played Eponine, which had issues
Hmm.
in and of itself, but she just doesn't have it.
I wonder why she got this role, because she definitely doesn't have it here either. Hey Kai, what's going on? Good to see you.
Hey, guy. I don't know. This goes back to what I was saying. I don't think that they developed her well enough for anyone to sort of understand where she's coming from, and that makes her unlikable without room for redemption, which I don't
Yeah.
necessarily like to have. I like to have villains who, yes, they're terrible, but also they have a point. And it's
Yes.
like
Yeah,
here
like
you don't
for
really
example
have
with
that.
this scene. For example with this scene, right? Like she's crying, she's bawling her eyes out, and this lady's dead. And I was thinking to myself, like, I don't care. Like,
No, who is this
I,
lady? We
who
never
are
saw them
you?
together, did
Yeah,
we?
no, we
Yes.
never saw them together. I don't know who this lady is. I don't know what's going on. There needs to be some sort of like a setup for a character when they're going through like an emotional thing, especially when you have a villain. Like she's supposed to be your villain. You have a terrorist that you're trying to explain through her eyes and her justifications for why she's doing what she's doing. Then you have this emotional scene where she's crying over this dead woman. We have no backstory. There is no way that we can understand her or feel what she's feeling, empathize with her in any way. Like we needed some sort of scene where she's growing up and this lady's helping her, or like give us some context, and then maybe we'll feel something.
Yeah,
But
what
I
you're
didn't feel
essentially
anything.
saying is you cannot have a payoff if you don't have a setup.
Exactly. Thank you.
You know, the kind of stuff I learned when I was 6 years old, when my teacher first told us to write about what you did over the summer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But what did
Yeah,
you
because
think?
I don't care if this person lives or dies. I have no
Yeah, I don't know who she is.
Oh,
understanding
I
of who
would
she
care if
is.
she
Or
dies, because I'm rooting for her death.
no, I'm talking about the lady.
No, the
crying
lady,
about.
we're
Oh,
talking
the
about
old lady. Oh, I'm
the
sorry.
dead lady. Like who the hell is
Sorry.
she?
Yeah. They
And like
did explain it in episode 4, but it was far after the fact.
yeah, but like and also in
Well, we
episode
didn't see
4,
it. That's the
we didn't
thing. They
see,
never
yeah,
showed us anything. It's telling us. They just
exactly.
keep all the exposition. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Exactly. It's like all these
Exactly.
throwaway lines. It's like, no, you need to visually show us what she did for her. Why are they so close? Look at this scene. Look how emotional this scene is. There has to be a setup for this to be like, impactful for the audience. Like let's say you had, instead of that, let's say that like that weird propaganda commercial, you have a flashback of this lady taking care of her, and you have something that happened to her, and then this lady's telling her, like, teaching her a lesson, whatever. At least you set up something for us to feel something for her, that, oh, she lost her adopted mom, or like whatever.
Yeah.
But they had nothing. Nothing's going on. And then in episode 4, like Falcon was like, when sorry, spoiler again, we're like skipping ahead a little bit, but when Falcon was like, she wouldn't want you to do this or whatever, and I'm like, how do you know? Like, we don't
He
know
couldn't
her.
possibly know.
Yeah, he couldn't possibly know who this woman was. She could have been like one of those like Donna people, like like the like lady pushers. Like you're like, I don't know who she is. Maybe she was an evil person. I don't.
Exactly.
This scene was funny because he's supposed to be like some rando. Falcon's supposed to be some rando dude. This whole scene was funny to me because I was like, how the hell did they even get here? Like they're all of a sudden walking in the middle of a bridge and it's like dead at night. And then
no one else was around.
when no one else was around, and then some car just comes and picks them up in the middle of the bridge. I was like, how did they even get here? This is
On
the
their private
weirdest
jet.
scene. But the private jet like dropped them off here? Like there's no car. Like how do they
Why are they walking?
why are they walking here? This makes no sense. The scene made no sense. I was like, this is
It's
so
like a
weird.
very weak version of the Black Panther scene where they're going into the club or whatever in disguise.
Yes. And also
That's exactly what it is. You're right, Jane.
that's exactly what it is. And they just wanted to show them all three in like a backdrop of a really cool night scene, just walking together in these cool outfits. That's all they wanted. It's like that's all they wanted, and they kind of got it, but it just made no sense at all.
But he just happens to look like this African dude.
Exactly. See, this is what I mean. This is the scene they wanted. They just wanted them to walk in this scene with this backdrop. And they're all like, you know, cool as shit, just walking to this weird car that comes and picks them up in the middle of nowhere. And takes them to, of course, the club where they're, I mean, I really like the scenes with the city. I thought that was cool, giving us the setting of where they are and the craziness here and everything like that. This scene was hilarious when he's like, I gotta drink that. What
Yeah. Well, the scene that happens what happens next is awesome.
Al Alvarez for $5, thank you so much, says this show is anti-American propaganda. The curly hair girl has the same personality as Solo, a bad guy that you're supposed to think is the good guy. What do you guys think? Do you think this show is an anti-American propaganda?
I don't really think it's I think it's anti-nationalism. I mean, it's clearly anti-nationalism because that's the goal of the bad guys. But that's...
I don't know if I feel like it's anti-American propaganda because, well, we don't know what's going to happen in the next episodes yet. I think that right now they're just kind of trying to show that the shield, which represents Captain America, who's a reflection of what America stands for, is now being misused. So whatever that may mean, I don't necessarily think it's anti-American propaganda. I think that it might be, it's maybe it's saying that like they're not on the right path right now, but maybe they can fix it. I don't know. It really depends on what happens with the next episodes. I like that Bucky was like, I'm going to take it if I have to myself, like the shield. I was like, yes, you should have done that from the beginning. Like,
I think, Nina, what you're saying there is also indicative of the whole problem with this show. We're 3/4 into it, and we have no friggin' idea what it's even about.
Exactly. We're still left wondering. But Al, thank you so much for the super chat. And I'm going to give you a thank you video here. Let me find a good one.
Thank you for your cooperation. Good night.
Nice.
That always cracks me up. Again, thank you so much for the super chat. So yeah, this scene was really funny when he's like drinking the shot and this guy's looking at him like, better drink it because that's your usual. Everybody has to stay in characters. What was that, Jane? Sorry.
I was just saying it was probably all a setup anyway.
It really was. It seemed that way. I couldn't catch the like when he's drinking it. Damn. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, look at that face.
He's like, no, I don't want to drink this. That was really, really funny. Then Zemo's up to no good. He kind of starts a fight a little bit. So that he can activate the Winter Soldier, which ends up going insane.
Yeah.
I loved this. Loved it.
I was hoping that we would get a little bit more of this because I was like finally like, oh, yes, some action. And then it ended like immediately. I was like,
But that was a little bit of where I wanted them to go with Bucky too, just showing us more of who he is and how he emerges. He can't leave behind the Winter Soldier. He's never going to be able to completely become someone different, but how he's able to balance the two, being who he needs to be when he needs to be that person, that's something that I wanted to see in this show.
Yeah, me too.
It's just not enough of it.
Yeah, not so far. M2021 says, some people say that the show is woke agenda driven. I didn't catch any of that. It does have woke elements in some of the episodes. I especially read a lot of it into episode 4, which I'm gonna get into because I was just I was rolling my eyes so hard that it almost went into back of my head and I almost got a migraine because I rolled my eyes so hard. But I'll get into it. I just feel like there's definitely woke elements. This is a Disney show, and Disney is hard woke now. They definitely have an agenda, and it comes through. It just bleeds through. Unfortunately, it just bleeds through into their shows.
And they're so. I mean, a lot of it too is just so ridiculously done too. It's I don't think it's woke in terms of being driven. I think it's what's driving it is whatever they have in mind for their films that are coming up. That's what they're setting up ultimately. But I think in terms of story, like with the Falcon, they don't know what to do. And I've said this before. It's like they don't know how to write Black characters.
Right.
So a lot of what's coming across as woke is also just incompetence. Because they don't know what else to throw in.
But isn't that so weird, Jane? Because didn't we talk about how most of the writers are Black?
The problem is that they hire not most of them.
No,
they've put the Black writers. It seems like the few that they have in specific departments or whatever to do very specific things. But they hire people who have their exact same mindset and limitations. So you end up with the exact same thing. It's not like they're going out of their comfort zone to hire people. And it's certainly not that they're hiring fans or people familiar with these characters who can really write them. And so you end up with the same typical Hollywood nonsense and stereotypes and caricatures. It's not so bad with him, but you do see it, with the struggle thing with his sister and all this. And it's just why do we have to do this every time?
It's like they can't have a Black character without making him or her a victim.
Exactly.
And
or give him any other struggle. I mean, he could have had, just as a human being, he could have suffered all sorts of other things after what's happened. I mean, given what's happened, everybody has issues now.
Yeah, PTSD.
But his issue is being poor.
Can I present a situation for Falcon, let's say, that could have happened? Let's say Falcon comes back because he was gone, right? And he comes back and he finds out that's similar to Monica Rambeau, that his sister died, leaving his two nephews basically parentless, orphans, right? And then now he has to deal with a loss because he's the one that's returned and she's gone because she's dead. And now he has to be a father figure to those two, to his nephews. He has to be a father. So then you get a Black character who has to deal with loss and has to deal with stepping up as a father figure, instead of coming and being oh, we're having financial problems, let's go to the bank and ask the white man for money.
Right.
It's just it gives you depth to character versus stereotyping a character. There you go.
See, they should hire you.
Thanks, Jane. I really appreciate it.
That's a better story.
I mean, that's just it just came to me just right off the spot. I was you could have just done a little bit more with this, just a little bit. Just I don't understand what's going on in the storyboarding rooms. They don't have anyone giving any good ideas at all. People need to be fired.
Or they do have good ideas and then they all go, no, why would we do something that would be awesome when we can do this?
True. That's true.
I love the way, though, these moments with Sebastian Stan, despite the quality of the writing, just shine through. And that shows a good actor.
100%. What 100%. Oh, okay. So people are liking my idea. That would be interesting, says Shane. Quantum Synapse says that's actually good.
But
Okay, so there
if
you
that
go.
came up, what someone would say is, well, but that supports the patriarchy because now he's a father and a masculine, a man and boys.
What's
And
wrong
no,
with
it's not.
that? What's wrong with
Shane's
that?
right. Yeah. Anything that's normal, in other words, that people could actually relate to, they don't have.
And what's wrong with being a single father? Because there is single fathers. We don't get much of single fatherhood. We always get single mothers. We never really get single fathers. It
Right.
would be actually kind of cool to see him having to step up for his nephews, and having to find care for them when he's the Falcon. Like he has to like
Yes.
find someone to care for them, and like having to go through all that. And there's another element to it, right? It gives you depth, it gives you character. But here we are. I like how he's worried about Bucky all the time. You think his worry actually stems from being a friend, or do you think his worry stems from being shit scared that Bucky's going to turn evil again? Ladies, anyone? Did I just get?
All right. I was reading the
I'm
comments.
sorry. I was muted. I didn't realize I was muted. I accidentally muted my microphone. I was saying that I think it's the latter of what you said. I think that they haven't yet developed enough that they are friends. I don't feel like them as friends. I think that he is very skeptical of him and looks at him like a ticking time bomb.
Okay.
And I think they are friends, but
Mhm.
I think that there is this underlying concern because imagine having as a friend a nuclear weapon.
Yeah.
It's like I like
Yeah.
this guy, but
Yeah. You're like,
I don't need a
if
weapon.
he steps,
yeah.
lots of people die very
You there?
quickly.
You in there, honey? I love you, but fuck. So yeah, he's always concerned. Makes sense. Then they go and see this weirdo lady. Of course, another woman that's the bestest ever, and she rules the whole club, and she's a badass, and she's looks weird, and she's running the show. And they have an interesting conversation. She gives them the information that they needed. But then Sam blows their cover because he's an idiot and didn't turn off his phone.
And apparently Sam also has the best cell reception on the planet. Is he able to get that all the way from America?
Yeah, no kidding, right? I guess it's like what Avengers what is it, Avengers reception or something? I don't know. I thought that was really ridiculous though, how they were able to just what's the word here? Like that Falcon had to be the one to like let it all go to shit. And speaking of which, like afterwards, I thought, how like the like they're trying to kind of do like the buddy cop thing, right?
Yeah.
So I figured, okay, he let it go to shit. I was expecting a little bit of banter for afterwards with like, the Winter Soldier being like, nice job turning your phone off, dude, or like something like that. Like anything to be like, because when you're friends, you kind of pick on like your friend if they fuck up. Like you're like, dude, like you messed up. Like, you're an idiot. Like next time turn off your phone. Nothing. We didn't get anything. It was just kind of like whatever. Now that lady's dead because Zemo ends up killing her. Which I thought, like, yeah. I mean, if I was a bad guy and this lady knew what she do, I would kill her too. To be completely honest.
Yeah, and that's where it turns. This is the John Wick moment.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
The poor man's John Wick moment.
Yeah, you're right. And then they all start running away. Around here, I was expecting like some sort of like, dude, thanks a lot for like not turning off your phone. And then you get this chick coming back out of nowhere.
So convenient.
So convenient. How did she even know they were there? They were picked up in the middle of a bridge. deserted. How did she know? Like, I don't get it.
Apparently, she knows everything because she's also got all sorts of connections and is, I don't know.
What did you guys think of her in general? Do you think like
I think she's
kind of a
completely
badass?
unnecessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she was such a badass that I was like, especially in like episode 4, I think, when she's like killing like all those people. I was like, how did this girl become so powerful? Like, she's almost as good as Black Widow. Like, maybe even like not almost like as good as Black Widow. Like, that's the kind of stuff Black Widow used to do. Is she that powerful? Like, I don't even know if she is. I don't even remember her.
Oh,
like
she's the niece or the grandniece of Steve's great love of his life that she very creepily had a kiss with. That's what I remember her from.
Yeah.
I totally forgot who she even was. Al Alvarez says Sharon is the power broker. Oh, spoiler alert! I didn't think she would be.
I just don't think she should be in this movie.
Maybe she's the power broker because we haven't seen the power broker. Do you think she's the power broker?
I don't think so.
She kind of seems like she might be, though. She did have that freaking wicked penthouse or whatever it was. Yeah, Quantum says she's part of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah, I thought she was part of S.H.I.E.L.D. But then after she went on the run, though, she is not part of S.H.I.E.L.D. anymore because she's on the run, right?
Was she like a mercenary now or something?
Yeah.
Well, this was after all the stuff that happened in Civil War.
Yeah. Because she helped them steal the shield.
Sense that she would be the only one who wasn't given immunity or pardoned or whatever.
Yeah, it is weird. So I think like maybe she's like a thief now. Maybe she's this broker guy. I was thinking the same thing because we still don't know who that is.
I just don't like her here.
But there she is with her weird house that like, and she was like, yeah, I just started robbing everything because, you know, I might as well live like a criminal if I'm going to be treated like one. This was a nice scene. It's always nice to see.
That is a nice scene right there.
Yeah.
Oh, well, no one will complain about that.
No. There's absolutely no complaints. We need more of this. This is what we need more of. He should have changed too, just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Not him. Sebastian Stan. Should have changed his outfit. Then they like, you know, get her, like they coerce her to help by saying like, you know, well, not they, Falcon says like, you know, we'll get your name cleared if you help us and blah blah blah. And she's like, okay. And
Which, how can you guarantee that?
You can't. I mean, this guy can't even get alone.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. Oh God. Stop.
You can't even get alone. And he's like, yeah. Well, like, I'll make sure you're clear. And I was like, dude, don't make promises you can't keep, Falcon. So then, what happens here? Then they go to a club. What happens in the club?
Steals the scene again. Yeah.
I forget what happened in the club.
Well, apparently they had a behind the scenes thing of him dancing for an hour that we could all watch.
That's great. I actually like that scene though when Zemo was dancing. I was like, that's funny. So then they go to this weirdo place.
Random fight.
Yeah, and then she finds she's like, yeah, that's the crate. Go in, and they're like, really? Are you sure? And she's like, yeah, I'm sure. They're like, okay. So they go in here, and he finds the doctor. They find the doctor that, you know, recreated the serum. Look at that brooding face. So handsome.
Yeah.
Tell me about the serum.
He can tell me about anything.
Look at that stare.
I know, so good. I love these stares he does. So then this is what I'm talking about. This girl's like kicking ass.
When did she become a superhero?
That's what I'm saying. When did she become like the Black Widow, man? Like, I don't understand what is going on. So then she's kicking ass. She's like, let's go. Like, we have to leave. And they try to get the information from this dude, which he, of course, gives up at some point. And then Zemo blows his brains out, which, of course, is, again, 100% what he should do, because that is his job. He's the bad guy. He has to do what he has to do. And of course, like when I saw him take that mask, by the way, earlier on, I was like, oh, this is so, like, Zemo's totally gonna backstab him at some point and like take off or kill him or I don't know what. But then of course he like puts on the mask and starts, kicking ass himself, which was kind of badass. I'm not gonna lie. I actually really enjoyed that scene. Because I like Zemo. Then that chick kicks more ass, and you're like, what? And then he steals this car, which I kind of didn't expect at first. I was like when he wore the mask and he started to like kick ass, I thought he was going to split up from them and go his own way. But then he didn't. He came back and, helped them get away.
Yeah, he has his motives here.
He definitely does.
Atomic Slash says she was raised in S.H.I.E.L.D. and grew up knowing how to fight. And that's fine. But the type of fighting we see happening here is just unrealistic to me. It's the same thing of having a little girl or woman who's small fighting off all of these guys. And I just don't believe it. It just doesn't make any sense.
I know. I just thought it was way too much like Black Widow.
It's like, does she have a serum too?
Yeah, she barely got hit. Like, I was like, at least if you had shown her getting hit more, I would have been like, oh, okay. Like, at least she's normal. But she just took out so many people. And I was like, she's not the Black Widow, man. She's not like some Russian crazy, I don't know.
Well, I guess some people in the chat are pointing out that she was a part of S.H.I.E.L.D., so perhaps. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know enough about it.
But they didn't give us any of that. They didn't show us any of that either. We're just supposed to accept what we're seeing happening. And it's just...
Yeah, we're supposed to just accept it and move on with our lives. Dread Pirate Mikey says, did you notice that there were no Indonesians in Indonesia? Everyone was in American, English, or Russian. I do agree, because especially when they were in that club and everything like that, I was like, what city is this? Like, isn't this supposed to be like an Asian country? There's like no Asians at all. I don't know what was going on.
Disney.
I know, it was so weird. Hello, Jacob. Good to see you. Hello.
I don't care.
Yes, Kent. I definitely saw Anthony Mackie in Altered Carbon. I liked Altered Carbon the first season better, but I did enjoy season 2 as well. It's too bad it got canceled.
Yeah, I never understood why they canceled that. They could have just kept switching out hot actors. It would have been great.
Exactly, Jane. Thank you. They should have had Sebastian Stan as one of them too.
Jason Momoa would have been great.
Oh, Jason Momoa would have been great. And then Henry Cavill. Oh my God. Okay. Girl can dream. So then she goes off with these people, and then you see the terrorists again, and the terrorists are talking about how they want to make a difference in life and what drives them as terrorists and what they want to do as a terrorist, and making all these weird excuses about themselves. And then, is this when she blows the building up? No, not yet. Then we catch up with Discount Captain America and Discount Falcon. They're trying to figure out what happened with Zemo, and Zemo's been broken out. Well, he didn't really break out, but you know what I mean.
Nothing's going Walker's way.
No, nothing.
Frustrated.
Nothing's going his way at all. They're in this cool plane again, flying back to the States, but then he changes directions and tells them where to go. So
they're going back to Munich, right?
Yeah, they went back to Munich. That's right. Okay, this is the scene where the terrorists blow up this place with a bunch of victims inside. This dude kind of like, I don't think he expected it. she was kind of like, we're blowing them up with people inside and killing them all.
Collateral
Yeah,
damage.
he thought they were being nice, caring terrorists.
Yes. He didn't. Look at that face. He was like, oh my God, there's people inside there. She's like, yeah, duh, we're terrorists. Hello. So yeah.
But I mean, I think maybe his point is that they thought they would be going after government targets
right.
or legitimate targets, as
that it wouldn't
opposed
be
to like
civilian.
civilians.
Mhm.
But part of the whole definition of being a terrorist is if you do go after civilians, but they probably wouldn't call themselves terrorists.
Rebels, whatever. What do they call themselves?
Well,
Revolutionaries.
Oh,
yeah, revolutionaries, rebels. Bro Duke says can't watch this series, too woke. And that's why we're here. That's why we're breaking it down and discussing what we think is woke, what works, what doesn't. As we see it, we're fans of the superheroes. We want to see good stuff, and if we don't, we'll call it out. We'll be like, no, you should have done this instead. That's why we're doing this show. Hello, you here?
Yay!
Like they should have had this guy flip.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Sharon Carter's Peggy, Atomic Slash says Sharon Carter is Peggy Carter's niece. So like I said earlier, she's probably been learning how to fight since she was a child, given that Peggy Carter is the founder of S.H.I.E.L.D. And that's all very good points. But you have to understand that if you're making a show, right, and you have, like 20, 30 movies now in the MCU, not everybody, especially normies, are going to be keeping track of characters you may have seen in one or two of the movies, especially secondary characters. So you need to put context. You need to put background. I didn't remember her. I honestly didn't. I was like, I don't remember who this girl is. And then I remembered something about her being Captain America's, Sharon Carter's niece and everything. And I was like, oh, that's that girl. But it's like, it doesn't have to be that way. That's the whole point of a good TV show, is that they give you reminders, kind of like in Cobra Kai, right? Like when they reference something or they show you a new character, they kind of give you a flashback of like who that person was, because just in case you haven't seen the movie, or if you've seen it and you haven't seen it for a long time, you have a point of reference of who this person is, and to make that connection. So when you don't have that, again, that goes to show that's not good TV show. Like that's just not a good TV show making situation. That's my opinion anyway.
They suck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just not very good anymore. So this dude was like, oh my God, we kill people even though we're terrorists, and that's what terrorists do. Then somehow Bucky sees a bunch of balls on the ground.
I love this part. Oh, I love this part.
I love this part too, but I also didn't understand how in the world he saw that tiny ball. Like, I was like, what? Like, huh?
He's a super
He has
soldier.
enhanced senses and whatnot.
I guess. Then he
Super
sees.
Stan.
Plus, if your girlfriend drops stuff around, you know.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Jane, I'm here for Zemo. Going to kill him.
Yay! Finally, someone awesome shows up.
Yes.
Scene was all I needed for the show, frankly. Just more of this.
You should have had her from the beginning.
Yeah. Or just set the whole thing in Wakanda. I don't even understand why we're here. This is a much more exciting show. I want to know what happened there with him.
Yes, me too.
How did he become the White Wolf and all this stuff?
Yeah, yes, to see the Wakanda. He's a super soldier, so that means he's got telescopic vision. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like to see the Wakanda beats. It didn't make sense. I was like, okay, like yeah, you're a super soldier, so you're strong, but like seeing a tiny ball like on the ground, that was just very random. Like I don't know. I felt like it was too random for me.
Shut up, he's perfect.
No,
it was placed. Weird. I think they replaced where he would see, like where she thought he would see them.
Right.
So
let's just assume that.
Hey, we're going with everything else in this show.
Yeah, why not? Eclay's asking me if I would ever shave my head. Fuck no. That is an
Never.
absolute no for me.
I mean,
Yeah.
unless you were an actor and that was your job, for sure.
No.
But you
No,
know,
I don't think I would do it, Teresa. I guess maybe it depends on how much money they were paying me, but
There's not enough money. I'll get a wig, a bald wig thing.
yeah, I would do a bald cap, but I don't think I could. I couldn't cut off my own hair. It just wouldn't happen. I'm not as brave as John. I can't like just no.
Well, John has ulterior motives.
That's true. He's becoming Lex Luthor slowly. He's going to take over the world. Okay. So, although like the episode ended like all right, I still thought this episode was so boring and I wanted to just die off boredom. I actually was so uninterested in seeing the next episode. I was like, ugh, like this was bad. Like how I don't know if it's going to get any better.
Nothing happened. We didn't get anything new. It was so boring.
It was so boring.
And the only thing that kept me watching this show was that end scene. And I was like, okay, well now I have to find out what's happening with this. But that's it.
Because we love her.
Nonsense.
I didn't even care, Jayne. I was like, oh, okay. Okay.
I want Bucky to have a love interest. Maybe I'm just sort of living vicariously through her.
Yeah, me too, girl.
Well, I'll tell you what, the first scene in this next episode, that is what we are here for, kids. That is what we are here for.
Wait, what was the scene? Oh, in Wakanda. Yes, that was.
I was going to say,
scene.
how could you forget? Damn you!
Sorry, everything is blended in and together.
This was amazing. You see, they could have all 6 episodes just be something like this between the two of them in a scene like this. That's fine. And look, they finally do a little bit of a background flashback to give us some context.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about with context. I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. This scene makes sense now. Like why she would be catching up with him and blah, blah, blah. This is what you're supposed to do.
Hearts.
Atomic Slash says, refresher, this is Io. She's the second in command of the Dora Milaje. Milaje? Is that what I said?
Yeah.
Right? Like Sharon, she hasn't been featured too much in the movies, so I'm glad to see her get some more screen time. As am I. She's pretty cool. I really liked her.
Mm-hmm.
Move or be moved.
Detrius says there was a huge plot for this show concerning a worldwide virus, which Disney had them removed due to COVID, which is why a lot of it makes no sense, including Redhead's mom dying.
Oh.
See, that is really interesting. I didn't know that.
That would have been something worth seeing.
I was about ready to say, talk about something we could relate to.
Yeah, no kidding. That would have been really interesting.
They take out all the good stuff.
They did, except for this scene, because it was a powerful scene when it comes to. I mean, Sebastian Stan too, his acting ability. I was like, oh,
hell yes! And when he's crying and he realizes that it doesn't have any effect on. Look at that. Oh my gosh, don't you want to hug him? And then
I just wanted to give him a big hug, yes, and then other things. And she was all, yay, you're
mad, passionate love to him.
Right then and there.
She got so happy. She's like, you have a soul. And now you're free.
Look at him.
He's so cute.
Gosh, that scene was so amazing.
I love how he was kind of like laughing in the end too. Let me see if I can play it.
My little soul.
Just a little tiny laugh. Like he was just like, he was so happy that he's free now. And I loved seeing that. That was really cool. Then of course they meet up and she's like, dude, that dude killed our fucking king, man. What are you doing? Like, I'm gonna kill that dude.
Yeah.
And he's just like, dude, you can't, because we're trying to use them to find the people who are creating the serum and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, you don't know what I can do. I'm come after him. That's pretty
Mhm.
much what she said.
And
That
I
was
loved
pretty much
when
something.
he spoke in Wakandan.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was good. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
good. That was good. Then he goes back home. Well, not home, but to their whatever shack that they're staying at.
Beautiful, by the way. Love the
So
decor.
pretty. I really liked
Mhm.
it. Like I love this the trying to catch it. There it is. Really pretty set here. I love the lighting. The lighting is great. The beautiful set is great. That was a good scene. I would love an apartment like this.
Oh yeah.
Then what happened? They're talking about our friends. Okay, here we go. This.
Yeah.
The desire to become a superhuman cannot be separated from supremacist ideals. Okay.
Mhm.
And here's where I have a problem.
Okay.
Because as we all know, today's day and age is all about white supremacy this, supremacy that, blah, blah, blah. It is the same old rhetoric that we hear on Twitter all the time. You literally had to put the word white in front of this to hear everything that you hear on Twitter all the time right now. So the idea that the entire show and the entire episode in this is about how being a supremacist is bad, and like how they're trying to stop supremacy, and how the entire conversation revolves around this idea of supremacy was hard cringe for me, because every time I heard it, I just would hear like all these pundits and all these people like in like the blue check marks on Twitter just talking about white supremacy all the time. Was it just me? What did you guys think?
I didn't quite see it like that, but I can see how you did that. How you heard that. What I was thinking of was that what he said actually was kind of making sense. That whenever a human tries to think that they are the Ubermensch, I was thinking about it in terms of that. Yes, it is. It's evil. But you're probably right. That's what they were thinking of, and they didn't realize that they were actually perhaps inadvertently making a good point, because the whole man and Superman and the Ubermensch is an evil thing, in my humble opinion. And there's a lot of that in a lot of the way people are viewing the world right now, apart from race.
Exactly.
I think, too, you also have to look at the fact that this is, I mean, they are talking about Nazis and Nazi creations.
Yes.
So this is, in a way, it's white supremacy, but now it's expanded to nations creating their own superhuman, super armies, and all of these things. In the context of the story, it fits.
It does, but at the same time, because of what's going on right now outside, it feels like a preaching propaganda tool to get people to think in these terms. It's just like one of those things where, like, in the end, when Falcon is talking to her and he's like, well, you're kind of like a supremacist now. And she's like, I'm trying to fight supremacy. And I was like, is this Twitter? Like, is this like, am I like listening to lines from Twitter happening right now? Because that's exactly what it sounds like.
But it's Twitter that took that language from that time. They're the ones who are taking words like white supremacy and racism and trying to twist them and apply them to things that don't fit. It's not, like, in other words, to me, it's not the story or the history or even the reality that's the problem. It's more so people trying to take advantage of those things to manipulate and silence others in the real world.
That's interesting. JM 2021 says that the writers literally took comments from blue checkmark woke SJWs on Twitter and insert them in the shows. That's what I felt like. That's exactly what I felt like. I was like, am I reading Twitter right now? That's exactly what I felt like, especially when Falcon was telling that girl, like, you sound like a supremacist. And she's like, I'm trying to fight supremacy. I was like, oh my God, this is literally like, it's all Twitter.
Well, because I think that she's the greatest villain we've ever seen, rather, in other words, meaning a character I hate more than life itself, I didn't mind her making a stupid point.
Sure.
Well, he could have substituted with the word terrorism. You're
Yes.
seeing the government and what they're doing is terrorism to you and your people who are being kicked out of places they have lived for the past however many years. But now you're becoming the terrorist, which would also have been a lines off of the news.
Right. And it would have given it another angle instead of making it these, like, trigger words, these, well, not trigger words, these, what's the word I'm looking for? It's kind of like, that's the words that they use now in
buzzword, maybe?
Buzzwords.
I see
Thank
what
you.
I see what you're saying. And I think that's true. But if they had flipped it and called them terrorists, those would have been conservative buzzwords. And it would have just triggered the left. So
that's also true.
Like, what do you do? Pick a different word. A third word.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on. There's a dictionary. Look up your thesaurus.
Freedom fighters or something. I don't know.
Anything. I don't know. The whole supremacist thing, then, I don't know, really
Well, the thing about the supremacists, though, in the context of what all this super soldier stuff was, I actually think that makes sense without a necessary woke interpretation.
I agree with you. Like, I couldn't, because of the Nazi aspect to the story. It's hard to disassociate the two, but I also get how the left or the right would be triggered to which, but I think that also goes to how you've seen people on frankly, the left and the right abuse terms. Like, it wouldn't feel that way, and no one would be triggered if you didn't see these terms being used out of context so often.
Here's the thing. I agree with you, and Quantum Synapse makes the same point, Teresa. And I agree with you. In the context of this show, it makes sense. I'm not saying that it doesn't make sense. I'm just saying that these words are used so much in Twitter and in everything nowadays that it just makes it like they're buzzwords that they're using in order to get, this is how propaganda works. This is how, like, they just underhandedly put these words so that you're, like, constantly being exposed to it, so that when you go online, you're like, you see something, you're like, this is supremacist thinking because I saw it on the Winter Soldier and this is what they're talking about because they're supremacists and blah, blah, blah. This is how, like, they get into the deep levels of your psyche. That's what I think, but maybe I'm just thinking too much into it. I don't know. I always think about that kind of stuff.
I mean, this was, frankly, for me, the one part I didn't mind because it also brought out a theme that was really, truly a part of the story. Unlike the other ones where it just felt like they were just throwing them in.
Okay, that's fair. So then they go to meet up with this girl, right? Yes. So Falcon. Oh no, they haven't gone to meet up with her yet, have they?
That was interesting too. That the propaganda sign reset, restore, rebuild.
Where was it? Did I pass it?
When they first started walking into the village.
Oh, there's that hand sign.
Yeah, reset, restore, rebuild. We've heard that before.
This one. If I can catch it. That's really hard to, like, pause. There we go. There it is.
Global reset.
Well, the global reset. You're right. See? Buzzwords.
They're buzzwords, but you see, these people aren't heroes, though. They're the villains of the show.
But this is how, like, Disney and media puts these things in your psyche, like the global reset and the reset, restore, rebuild.
It's how government does it through media.
Exactly. exactly.
But they also do that through the stories too. I mean,
Mhm.
then you have to think about how deep does it go, because they could have also done it through the comics themselves.
Which they have,
And
100%.
arguably arguably the Captain America comics are all propaganda.
Oh, well, 100%, especially like the OG ones, like during World War II. Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, there was definitely like bits of propaganda in there, but that's how they were built, like, originally. But it's still happening to this day, and we have to call it out when you see it. I mean,
Yeah.
like
Oh,
at least
sure,
I
yeah.
feel like I do, because I'm just honestly, I'm sick of it. I'm like, can't we just make superhero stories just because we like to watch like really handsome men take their shirts off and then kick butt? And yeah, that's what I like. Um, so then they go to this village. They're trying to find her. Of course, everybody's giving them refuge because they're so helpful to the community and providing medicine and all this other stuff. And then Zemo goes and becomes like this really creepy dude and gives these kids candy.
Turkish delight.
Turkish delight.
Yeah.
Which I've never had. Have you guys ever had Turkish delight?
Oh, yeah.
Is it really like irresistible, like the way he was
It's
saying it?
really good.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I really want some now.
Me
He
too.
was so creepy in this scene. Like I don't understand any of these kids, because you know how they say like don't take candy from strangers. I would start screaming. This dude's trying to give out candy like in the
Well-
middle of the street.
But also understand the context. These are kids that are refugees. They're
Oh yeah, that's true. They have
starving.
no parents.
They're displaced. It's not.
That's true. That's true. They have no one to tell them don't take candy from strangers.
Precisely.
Demogenite for $5 says the problem is the words are overused now. When you hear them, they come off the wrong way. By the way, I didn't feel like it was a problem. Gotta just enjoy.
Mhm.
That's very true. That's very
Good
true.
point.
I
Yep.
think it's just I'm just so sick of it. I'm just so sick of it that at this point I feel like this.
Oh, I hate.
That's all I feel. I hate. But thank you, Demogenite, for the $5. You're so sweet. Let me see which one. Okay, this one.
Precious Venus. Thank you.
Thanks, Demogenite. Thank you so
Wow.
much.
Oh my god.
Oh my God, you guys! Fatal J's here.
Well, hey, hello.
Hey, Fatal.
Cause I'm big on cocaine every day. Like when I get out work, cocaine. When I go to sleep, cocaine. When I wake up, cocaine. I'm serious. Guys, look at cocaine.
What the actual hell was that?
That's just us having fun on Fantastic Four. Fatal J is really into cocaine. Jay says we're all tired of it. Yeah, I think we all are. We all are. So this girl, she takes the candy, she gives up the goods, and by that I mean the info.
Uh-huh.
My goodness, there's the candy. I really want some of that. I want to know what it tastes like. Where do you even get Turkish delight?
Amazon?
Yeah, try it online if you can't get it locally.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look up Amazon.
I'm
And
gonna
then,
order some.
okay, so can I ask another question? Because in this part where he was like telling her, like he was like, "Don't tell those dudes what you told me."
Mhm.
And then they come to this house, and then he tells them what she told him.
He doesn't tell them the time though, or location.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. Because I was like, what? Fatal. You know what? You know what? I swear I've watched that video like 30
That's
times.
so funny.
Then he keeps the time or whatever it was, like to himself, and Sebastian Stan becomes this brooding, threatening man again, and he gets all scared. And I love that scene. Meanwhile, this dude is calling her, the other chick, again, and like being like, "We need your help. We need trustworthy eyes." and somehow she has access to some sort of Avenger satellite. So she's like, "Yeah, I got you, bro."
So wait, you don't have a pardon, but you have access to satellites?
Mm-hmm.
Well, because she's in the underground and stuff.
Yeah, she's in the underground, so she's like, I got my hookups.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
She became a Bond villain.
Just go with it, Jane. She's
Go with
probably
it.
that dude. What was it? What was her name? Not the Flag Smashers. Oh,
Power broker.
yes, the Power Broker. She's probably the Power Broker.
Yeah.
That's why she has access to satellites.
Okay.
Then they go to this weird grave place. The terrorists, and that's where they're keeping the serum, which they should have probably kept there. I don't know why they took it. They took it out.
Yeah, why would you take it out?
That was a good hiding spot. I don't think anyone would know. They should have just just kept it there until they have the potential army of who they want to dose with, and then they would go there with the dose. What's the word? With the
Serum.
No, like the people who are up for the
nominees.
Yeah, the nominees, the serum, the candidates, the serum candidates. You just take them to the graveyard one night. You're like, line up, and then they line up, and then you just start injecting the serum into their veins and like make your army. I don't
Shane
understand.
said, surely they need to be refrigerated. That's what
Hey, that's a good point too. I mean, the COVID vaccine needs to be refrigerated. I don't understand.
I think every time we've seen them taken out, they've been taken out of some cooler type thing.
That's true. That's
right?
true. Power broker confirmed.
Oh boy.
Yeah. War.com says words have meaning, and if you change the meaning, then you change the story fit what you wanted to be around you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also true. Yes, a lot of people, including me, think that she's the power broker. I feel like she is. So then we catch up with Discount Falcon and Discount Captain America. And they're like, they don't know what they're doing. They're just like, oh my
Why are
God.
they even there?
Yeah, it's like, what are we doing? We gotta catch up with these guys. And then they catch up with them. And they're like, we know where she is. And they just want to use her to use them to get to this Carly chick. And of course, they're trying to arrest Zemo because he's broken out of prison. And Captain America just wants to look good, like he's useful and he's doing something with his life. Like he arrested Zemo, a prison escapee, a supervillain. Somehow, some way, though, this dude wants to reason with her. He thinks there is a reasoning with her, which I didn't really get. Like, I'm like, I don't know why. Like, why does he think that she's? I don't know, that she's got this, that she's so misunderstood, or like that she can be reasoned with. I didn't get her like his line of reasoning. Did you guys get that?
I think because there's the other half of this story that we don't have. It's like he may have some insight as the person in the story as to what the role was like before and what she's trying to achieve, but we don't.
Yes.
I think that's what's missing. It may be that she has some point, but we can't, like, it doesn't make any sense what we're seeing happening and how she's going about it because we don't know what they've lost.
Exactly.
Zemo, we know what he lost. We know, what his motivation is and why, but we don't have that with her.
Yeah, 100%. TK not at post for $10. Thank you so much. Says Captain America's like, bruh.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Bruh. Wow, thank you so much for that $10, TK. That is really generous. Thank you. Let me see which clip should I play for you. Let's go with this one.
Daddy's in prison. And he won't be home for a long time.
My dear Lord. Yeah. Well, I gotta get going right now. I gotta get on the bus. I ride the bus for the city and watch the bus drivers. Kind of this program they got to make sure they turn the wheels right and...
Billy, you forgot your stuff.
Come on, honey.
Thank you very much, Miss Lippy!
Thank you so much, TK. I really appreciate that super chat. And of course, Captain America is literally in this scene. He's like, "Bruh, what are you guys doing with this dude? This weirdo dude." Then they're like, "Okay, fine. Go meet up with her." He thinks he's being clever by locking Zemo up. And then they're at this funeral. She's giving this passionate speech about this woman we don't care anything about or know anything about. And we're supposed to feel things, which I absolutely felt nothing at all. I was like, okay.
Yeah, this was a part that I was saying. They actually give a little bit of background way too long after the fact.
But I didn't care. I was like, it's too late. I don't care about any of this.
None of it makes any sense.
No. And then he shows up, just like casually strolls in. And she's like, oh my God, he's here. So I have to go meet up with him now. So then they kind of talk it out. And he's like trying to convince her about how, she's being a terrorist and she's a bad person. And they just kind of have a bonding moment, I guess. And then meanwhile, this dude just can't freaking sit still. It's like, dude, chill out. The plan was that he goes and talks to her, right? Like, I don't understand why he was like, he was just so like antsy. He's like,
I think what he's doing is, I think he's thinking through what would happen if he's successful, because that means that glory for ending this thing would be taken away from him. He's trying to make a name for himself as Captain America. He's trying to embody that. And he can't do that if Sam brings this, this whole situation to a conclusion without him having had any part in it.
It's possible, though I actually interpreted it a little differently because they had just talked about how he was in Afghanistan. And that he said that this would be like the first time he did something that mattered to him. And it is true that in many cases in Afghanistan, very much like what they did in Vietnam, they wouldn't let them win. They would say, no, we'll try to talk to them. And then, every time they would, they'd all get blown up because like that would happen. I've known people that were there and they were always told, no, don't engage. You're supposed to talk with them. And then their friends got blown up because it was a trick. That's a possibility of what I thought, only because they just had that dialogue. So it's like, I am not going to wait. We've got a terrorist in there. Screw it. I'm going to go and I'm going to get her. I'm not going to talk to her.
And Bro Duke said Disney's humanizing Antifa. I actually thought the comparison I made between this group and terrorists was not specifically Antifa, but like ISIS or one of the groups in the Middle East that where they're recruiting people who have been like lost people to the war and stuff.
Yeah.
Or to displacement.
Yeah, because Antifa, they're a bunch of rich, spoiled kids who are making up problems.
Yeah, and these people seem more personally invested in what's happening. So that was kind of what differentiated the two for me.
Wardock Heim says that he's telling us that Sam's got a thing for the Flag Smasher girl.
Ew.
No.
How old is that girl?
I don't know. I think she's like 17 or 18 or something.
Yeah, the actress is like 22, I think.
Still ew.
That's gross.
Yeah, no. I didn't get that feeling at all. There was I
didn't either. I got it more like a brotherly feeling than anything else. But
Yeah.
Like he was trying to like legit like help her out. Like he was trying to reach to her conscience, to her humanity. But I just don't get that. Like this is what I'm saying. Like some people are just bad. Like I want a bad person. Like I want a bad guy. I don't want like, oh, let me try and reach your I don't know.
But have we had any truly absolute bad guys in this universe?
Not really, have we? Well, except for Thanos. Even Thanos.
Even Thanos had a point.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe I would be needing a little. Yeah, I'd be a little more sympathetic because it is true that sometimes when you're trying to get at somebody like this, you try to talk them. You know, it's like, hey, well, I'll work with you, you work with me as a negotiation. Though I'm not sure that's what they were going for with this, but you know that can happen where you're like, let me talk, let's try to do this, you know, so that we all don't have to. It doesn't have to end off with suicide by cop or something like that.
And Shane, this is exactly what I felt like too. Why not reason with her after she's in custody? Like first arrest her.
But who's going to arrest her? She's a super soldier.
Bucky and Sam, like arrest her first. Like take her down, arrest her ass, and then once she's arrested and behind bars, then you can have a chat with her and be like.
But Bucky wants to kill Walker. Bucky wants to take out Walker as his number one priority right now.
He does?
Yes. He wants that shield back. He could care less about anything else that's happening on this planet.
That's I guess that's also true. That's also true.
It's like let him get the shield and then arrest her and then talk her down.
That's also true. But what did you guys think of this too? Because this is what I was talking about. Like, I wonder if they're really friends, because when he says that to him, like, your partner needs backup in there. It's like he's trying to make it that as if that chick is so dangerous, and if things go wrong, like Sam's gonna die, you know? And
yeah, she's a super soldier. He's not a super soldier,
but he's pretty strong. He can hold his own. He's fought Bucky.
He doesn't have his uniform or whatever.
Oh, that's true. He doesn't have his superhero uniform. And Bucky, like, so do you guys think that it was a selfless thing that he was saying? Like, you know, he really meant it. Like, it wasn't like a selfish thing. Like, we just need to go there so I can arrest her. Or was he really concerned about Sam?
I was not at all concerned about Sam.
No, he didn't give a rest for end about Sam. I think it was more of a situation like, screw it. I've spent enough of my life sitting around and not doing anything worthwhile, and this would be something worthwhile. The idea of having to sit on his heels. I mean, maybe I'm just reading too much into it and giving them too much credit.
I think you're right.
I think you're right, too.
And I think in this case, he's trying to manipulate Bucky, and Bucky has complete faith in Sam. So
exactly. So nothing's going well for discount Captain America at all. You're killing innocent people. They're not innocent. Yeah, they were, girl. They weren't like anybody.
She even admitted that. Her friend said that.
Yeah.
And this shows you how far gone she is. But again, we don't get to how she gets to this point, and it just seems empty.
They're a roadblock in my journey, and I'd kill them again if I had to. She sounds pretty terroristy, if you ask me. But
with no redeeming qualities whatsoever.
That's why I told you, kill the bitch.
Oh my god. So then they show up, and she's all, "Oh my god, you betrayed me, Sam. So I'm gonna run away now." And Zemo's like, this bitch. Like,
yeah, this is where I was cheering. The closest I'd come to cheering at anything in this whole friggin' series. Like,
it's for Zemo of all people. It's freaking like, we're like, yes, Zemo is the hero we wanted. Like,
exactly. Just go with it, start blasting.
Which makes no sense, because you're like, isn't that supposed to be the Falcon and the Winter Soldier stopping this person? But no, apparently Zemo is our hero in this.
Well, because they want to sit around and talk about their beefies.
He just wants them all dead,
and he just wants a serum because
he wants to destroy it, and he actually gets it done, doesn't he?
Yeah, but I'm talking about Walker. Walker just wants
Oh, Walker. Okay, my bad.
this.
He's so insecure.
So insecure. He just wants to be strong, like Steve. He just wants to be Steve. He just wants to be.
He wants to be a hero.
Yeah, he wants to be a hero, but he doesn't understand that heroes are made like, not all heroes wear capes, right? And she is bleeding out, and I was like, oh, it's too bad she didn't die. Then we meet her weirdo friend. They're like planning more terrorist stuff. And she's telling them that all their serum is gone, and then they're planning on killing Captain America. Which again, if you had left the serum in the graveyard, none of this would have happened, lady. So what did you guys think about their plan to kill Captain America? Like, what's even the point of killing Captain America? Wouldn't they just give the shield to somebody else?
Yeah, exactly. It didn't make any sense.
Well, anytime you can kill a symbol.
But I mean, they couldn't trust that the government would even reveal it. They could just keep it a secret.
That's also very true. So then they're just planning on. This was funny too. Again, Zemo being really funny, just like lying on the couch, telling them that he, destroyed the serum and everything.
The affection of gods among real people. That was a good statement. I like that.
Yeah, Zemo had some really good lines.
But then he raised the question of, well, what does this mean? Or what did he say? Something about like, what about Bucky, basically?
Yes. What about Bucky? That's right.
Yep. That's what Bucky is.
And if that's how you feel, what about Bucky? Because he was like, we got to destroy all the super serum people. And I think that he doesn't really give a shit. He probably wants to kill Bucky too.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just leaving him for last. He's like, I'll just kill him last.
Mm-hmm.
Then these guys show up again. God, they're so useless. And then of course this scene happens.
Time's up.
Yeah, they want him. But again, I didn't like this scene was just so kind of dumb for me because I was like, what is even the point of this? They just kind of started fighting amongst themselves. I'm like, don't we have better things to do? And they're like fighting all these guys. And I'm like, the guy you want just walked out because you guys are busy just,
Yeah,
fighting.
I thought that was hilarious. He just didn't even have to try.
Yeah,
because the two people who want to arrest him are fighting each other instead.
That's what I'm saying. It was weird. I was like, why don't you just go and, kill that dude that you want to kill? This
goes back to the problem I have with Walker. This entire story is that he could have coordinated or cooperated with everybody else. He didn't have to be an antagonist to any of these people. Like from the very beginning, he could have said, "Let's work together."
Yeah, but
and it was just because plot. That's how I feel because I'm not even sure why he was being such a douche.
Yeah.
He just wants to be Steve Rogers. This part was interesting, though. With her knowing his buttons literally and, like, taking off his arm. And then afterwards, the Falcon was like, did you know she could do that? And he was like, no. That was weird. I didn't see that coming.
Look at his face.
Yeah.
He was like, what?
I think he was a little bit turned on by that.
Projection much, Jayne? Jesus.
I mean, he looks impressed. Like,
yes.
Hey.
Impressive.
Yeah, he's like, oh, man.
Wow.
She really knows how to
do.
Yeah, she really knows how to press his buttons. Meanwhile, this dude's like, oh my God, they weren't even super soldiers and I just got my ass kicked. I did feel a little bit for him when he said that. I was like, see that they weren't even super soldiers.
They weren't even super soldiers.
You're right, man. Oh, I couldn't catch it.
Yeah.
Anyways. Then of course that basically settled it for him. At that moment, that's when he was like, yep, I'm taking the serum because they weren't
gonna do it.
And I just frigging got my ass handed to me. Um, then of course, he has this discussion with this dude, and he was like, "Would you take the serum if you could?" And this dude's like, "Yeah, of course I would." And he's like, "Yeah, okay. Well, my friend said it's okay. I should probably do it too." So he makes his mind up to take it. Then here's the sister gets threatened by the terrorist lady and her son. They all get threatened.
For the best cell reception on the planet.
Exactly. And then she calls her bro up and she's like, "Brah, I just got threatened by this crazy bitch." And she's like, he goes up to her. He's like, "You call my sister? That's how I'm going to play this? She's a terrorist, Sam. She's a terrorist. What did you expect? She's going to be like, let's kumbaya." Like, this was so weird. Like, I was like, I don't know.
You blew up a building.
Yeah.
Bruh. Bruh.
Yeah, bruh. It's all just going to be bruh.
Oh, Jayne, you're really trying to be a matchmaker with Bucky and Io here, I see. Yeah. She already said in our little private chat that she's shipping Io and Bucky. What'd you call him? Buck-Io?
Buck-Io?
Oh, yeah, that's a thing. That is a thing.
Is it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, I looked at how, saw how she looked at him. She was so proud of him when he was able to get through the little code thing. And how he looks at her. I mean, there's something there.
Aww.
Oh, well, they had that connection.
They did.
I hope that they make it.
They won't do it.
Cute.
Well, they don't do anything that's awesome.
No.
Of course not. So you really want to play this? She's a terrorist. Yes. This is how she's playing it. I don't want to hurt you. I'm just going to threaten you and your family.
Yeah, little boys.
Yeah.
I would kill her right then and there. But hey,
I was going to say, absolutely.
Yeah, personally, me too. But then again, that's not something superheroes do usually, which we will see later in this episode. And of course, this chick's just, doing her thing.
Her world mastermind thing that she apparently does.
Exactly. And then they start being superheroes and fighting each other. This was all interesting. And then Discount Captain America shows up. They have a moment here where he's useless again. And what did you guys see this coming?
I did.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Oh, you mean where he went? Oh gosh. I was sad when that dude died. It really made me sad.
When that happened, he's gonna snap.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't see it coming though. I didn't think they were gonna kill Discount Falcon.
Oh
well, I mean, keep in mind we saw even Cap go that far or very close to that far when Bucky's life was at risk.
Right.
So it
Yeah. He came close.
He came very close to killing Iron Man.
He did. He did come very close.
So imagine this regular person who doesn't have all of that, all of the years and all of the having gone through these things before. I mean, he just reacted. And
I did find this scene really interesting though, because like here they are all fighting like with knives and everything like that. And then all of a sudden this chick kicks this guy, right? And they're all like, gasp. She killed him. Like, I'm like, how are you guys been trying to kill people? Like the way that they looked, like they were like, like she actually killed this dude. And then they like ran away because they were like, oh my God, that guy really died. And I was like, they were so shocked. I was like, isn't that the whole point? Like, weren't you guys trying to kill people the whole time?
I
don't know.
Who the hell knows?
Yeah, like why would they stop? They literally tried to kill them on the train. That's how we were introduced to them. So
exactly.
They killed one and they have 3 more to go. Like,
yeah, and then she was all shocked too. She's like, oh my God, I killed him. And I was like, weren't you meaning to kill him? Like, isn't that what you did?
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like,
you blew up people, 3 innocent people in a building.
Yeah. You were in the middle of a fight with knives. I mean, when knives come out, people mean business. I don't know.
Why didn't they
Then
have guns? That was the other question I had.
yeah, why didn't they have guns? I don't know. Somebody made a comment about that, right? Like, I think it was Zemo or somebody was like, "What's up with the knives?" I think everybody thought that. So then, Captain America, this dude's like, "It wasn't me, bro. Don't tase me, bro. Don't tase me. Don't shield me, bro." No, this guy's getting it. So he gets it from
It
Captain
was
America.
you, dude. You were right. This is the same. Wasn't this the same dude who said he was going to kill Captain America?
Yes, he was. I think so. No, it was the other guy, wasn't it? I don't know. It was one of them.
Well, they plotted together, so they're all
They
responsible.
plotted.
Yeah.
So how can you now say it wasn't me? You're a principal.
No, he was saying it wasn't me. Like, I didn't kill him. Like, it was that chick. Like, she
But
killed him.
you, yeah, but dude, no.
Yeah, he was just like trying to play the blame game. So maybe this guy would like feel a little bit of sympathy that he wasn't the actual person that killed his friend. But I don't think he gave a shit.
No,
He
well,
was like-
obviously, he killed him.
Yeah, he was like, "You guys are all part of the same organization. I'm going to kill all of you." Yeah,
Screw you
girl
all.
What's up with the knives? Yeah, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. That's true. Or the knife in this case. But so what do you guys think is going to happen next? Do you think he's going to feel remorse of what he did? He has now been basically outed to the world as like a murdering Captain America. I don't think anyone's ever seen Captain America act like that before. Have they?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think now I bet you they'll make him a big fugitive and it'll be some big dumbass stupid stuff.
Will they finally put the shield in a museum?
Yeah. It belongs in a museum.
No, Bucky was like, "I'm not putting that shit in the museum. I'm taking that shit this time." So
You're
he's
all
gonna take it.
Sam was right. He was right.
I wonder if we could walk up to him and just take it right now.
Probably. Demogeni says that's not Cap, that's U.S. Agent, but he's been Captain America for all intents and purposes for the last few episodes. Like that's
Well, he's discount Captain America.
Yeah, he's discount Captain America. But like I still don't get this U.S. Agent thing. So he's Hydra. Like I don't understand. I don't get it. This U.S. Agent thing is very confusing to me.
It hasn't played out yet.
It hasn't played out. I have no idea what that is. 19K Fox, what's up? What's going on? I lost interest in the show after episode 2. I don't blame you. It's very boring and very little happens. And you're not a lady that thinks Sebastian Stan is super hot or a gay guy. So I get it.
Yeah.
You're super straight, dude. I understand. Because Sebastian Stan is a beautiful man. And I just watch it because I want to see him on screen. That's the only reason I'm watching it at this point.
And we want to see more of him crying.
I don't know if I want to see him cry anymore.
Oh yes, with emotion like that at the beginning of that scene, hell yes. And with her helping him and looking at him and
no, I'm into the toxic male situation. That scene was good enough. You don't need any more crying. Man up and start kicking some ass. That's what I want.
I'm tired of him being so depressed this entire time. Like that's been the thing that's been bothering me. It's just I'm ready for him to become a badass now.
Oh well, he wasn't depressed in that scene though. That was a good cry.
And they got it out of his system.
Yeah.
Now move on.
Yeah.
She
was helping him.
I'm super straight, but even I recognize Sebastian Stan's hotness. Respect. Well, there you go. You have good taste. You have good eye.
Darn right.
Cat Nerd. Hello, says in the comics, John Walker, U.S. agent, was a patriot, just not a very heroic person. He was manipulated by the Red Skull. Okay, well, the Red Skull is nowhere to be found in this show.
Red Skull is Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, how cool would it have been if the Red Skull was actually in this? That would have been amazing. But no, there's no Red Skull. I actually wanted, for the longest time, I wanted like another Captain America movie where the Red Skull comes back, because the Red Skull is like Captain America's ultimate villain. And I really wanted to see another standoff between them, but never happened. Never happened. I never got my wish. Jacob says he turns into evil discount Captain America or U.S. agent.
Well, I mean, that's I do like how they've developed his character. I get where he's coming from and how I don't think he turned. I think this is just his personality. And I think it's a very human perspective. I don't think anyone else in his position would necessarily have done anything different.
I agree.
Except Captain America or someone.
Yeah, I agree because it's just kind of showing Steve Rogers's extreme self-control and extreme empathy and why he was special. It's not to say that this dude is evil. It's that he has a lot of flaws as a human being, and now they're gonna be even more heightened because he's a super soldier now. So his flaws are now extra super flaws because he's a super soldier now. So I think that's I do think he has empathy though. So I think he's going to be like, well, I don't know if he has empathy.
Well, I think they made it very clear in his little monologue-y thing that he wants to be good. He wants to be a better person. He wants to have meaning to everything he's going through. And also recall that Steve, he was from the greatest generation. He was from an entire different era than most of these, except for Bucky. He didn't live through a lot of the things of the modern age. He woke up to it.
Yeah. Kind of like the same with Bucky because, you know, Bucky was evil. Like he was like a brainwashed Manchurian candidate, kind of like he didn't really like realize how he was living his life through most of it. He was like a Hydra slave, right? So when he like finally woke up, he was able to, you know, finally see when he went to Wakanda, like he was finally able to, you know, be a normal person after all those years.
And I actually don't think anything is necessarily wrong with Walker. From what we know of him so far, his history has been of doing good. And arguably, this wasn't bad. It was just not what Steve would have done. I mean, if someone kills, like, this guy was his best friend from when he was, a teenager? At least. Possibly even longer than that. And someone just murdered him right in front of you. A normal reaction is to kill the person responsible.
Yes, a normal reaction of not Captain America, right? Like that's the thing, right? It's what the shield represents. You have to be better than the sum of your emotions and you know your instincts and everything that you know has to do with what you know you really want to do, but you can't because you're a superhero. That's the whole point.
But I do wonder, you know, the closest we've seen Cap come to it was that fight with Tony, right? And if he could come that close himself, and Bucky was still alive, what if he had successfully killed Bucky? Would he have stopped himself? I don't think anyone can really say.
Yeah, I don't, maybe not. This scene was interesting to me though when they show up because, okay, I'm just going to say this. Falcon has an excuse. He's just a normie. Like he's not a super soldier. Hi, Justin Normie. He's not a super soldier, but Sebastian Stan is. Okay, he couldn't run faster and like catch up to Captain America and stop him from doing this. Like it was like, dude, let's go. Like, I mean, he was right there, right? Like I don't know why he took forever to get to where they ended up. I just feel like that was it was a little bit of the plot thing that Teresa says, you know, like I was like, technically, if you wanted to, he could have caught up with Captain America. I don't know.
But I don't think he like it goes back to what I was saying before. I don't think he cares about any of these people or any of this that's happening. I think the only thing he wants is that shield back. And
Maybe he
so
wanted him to kill this dude so that he could be
exactly.
like, ah, see, he's not Steve Rogers. Give me that shield, bitch.
Yeah. This guy sucks.
You know that's what's gonna happen. Once you give me that shield, like that's the next scene. That's what's gonna happen because this is where it ends, right? So the next scene is gonna
with
be
everyone.
like,
And everyone getting it on their cell phone, so
yeah,
we know that it's not like he can hide it.
exactly. So the next episode, what do you want to bet the next scene is basically like Bucky running up to him, taking the bloody shield and being like, looking at Falcon and being like, I told you shouldn't have given it away, and just taking it and, taking off. I think that's probably what's going to happen next.
I'm still Team Zemo, just going in and just killing everybody except for Bucky and Sam.
Right. Zemo is still around, right? What happened to him here? I forget. He just kind of ran away, right? Is that what happened? Did he run away? Where was he? I don't remember.
He was somewhere. I don't know.
When all hell broke loose, where did Zemo go? I don't remember. I don't know. But he's still around. He's not dead or anything. So yeah, there we go. Overall thoughts, Teresa, what did you think about overall, and what are you predicting for the next episode? Wait, how many more episodes do we have? 2?
Well, I think overall they suck, and they suck more than suck can suck. They've gone beyond from suck to blow with snippets of good moments.
Okay.
Yeah,
me too. I mean, very, very little snippets. Jayne, what you think and overall, and what is your predictions?
Overall, I'm just very disappointed. I had such high hopes
I know you
for
did.
this series. I like both these characters a lot. So I don't know what's left. I don't know what they can do. And it's sort of like we find ourselves in a situation like with WandaVision where there aren't enough episodes to sort of clean up the mess they've made with these different storylines. And are we just going to get an abrupt ending that doesn't make any sense? I don't know. And then they've introduced these new characters. So where's that going to go? Are the Dora Milaje just going to disappear?
Yeah.
I mean, how do you resolve that situation? Because they want Zemo, but the government also wants him back in prison. And then you have, Peggy's niece, whatever her name, Sharon. It's just, I don't know what they do. I don't
Wait,
know
what was she called again? Her ulterior thing that I think.
Oh, the
over, whatever. I don't know. The person that wants the serum.
Yeah.
Because that chick is now, like the power broker. Thank you, the power broker. And Al, no, you're not the only one. Come on, you need to be a super soldier if you have the shield. Come on.
I think the whole thing is just dumb.
What do you want to bet that chick is a super soldier? Or what's it called?
She would probably almost have to be at this point because they have to combine these stories somehow.
Yeah.
And they don't have enough time to do anything different.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. They're just running out of time. They suck.
It's just, who's
We have
writing?
only 2 more episodes, right? Or do we have only 1?
2.
I think it's 2, and I don't understand what's going on in Disney in the writer's room.
When they're not busy fucking up Star Wars, right? Bro Duke says, I usually watch Gary, Jeremy, and the guys talk about these shows. Definitely interesting to hear the ladies' perspective. Well, thank you for being here and hanging out with us. Somebody else just said that we should go and check out. RMR said that we should watch Doomcock's live show from the beginning. They have an interesting take on the show. It cannot be possibly more interesting than our take. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I love
Doomcock.
Does he mention that in his show?
Yeah, I don't think that they talk about how hot these characters are.
Well,
and,
yeah, they wouldn't be able to put it in.
Oh, Justin Army says, I love ladies talk. I miss our Expanse talk. Yeah, I miss our Expanse talk too. But we need more Expanse for sure. Cat Nerd says, from what I've heard, they've just wasted 2 excellent actors on a very mediocre story, which is sad as I like both these actors. Me too.
That's it. I think that sums it up.
You nailed it. Cat Nerd, you nailed it. Because that's exactly what's going on in this series. It's a complete waste of time. And it's just nothing good. Nothing good's happening over there at Disney at all. Even when... Sorry, go ahead, Jayne.
No, I was just gonna say it scares me too because the next one I was looking forward to was Loki, and I just don't know what to. I don't have any expectations now. I can't.
I wasn't looking forward to Loki at all because I heard it's gonna be like all femme stuff, and that apparently he's like basically got a cameo in his own show. Like it's not even gonna be about him really. So I was like, and it just all sounded bad. So I was like, I'm not really interested in it at all. I mean, we can watch it and break it down if you guys really want to, but at this point, I'm just like, I don't know. I might check out after the Winter Soldier. I don't know. Depending on how this show ends, let's see how it ends.
Oh no!
It's like they just keep getting worse.
I know.
It's true. Like I was super into WandaVision at first. And then they fucked it up. They fucked it up hard. I was like, dude.
They couldn't stick the landing.
And it's true. This show is just boring. Like I was bored for so long. Like I was like, is something gonna happen? I don't
And why? Like there's no good reason for it to be.
There is no reason for it to be so boring.
How are you boring when you have a super soldier?
I know.
How? Like, how do you manage that?
Talent on loan from God, apparently. Well, if it is true, though, what we've heard, what they were saying, and I'm not doubting anybody, that there was originally an entire different plot and they had to like cut and paste it all back together. I mean, that is a concern.
That's interesting.
That could explain it too.
Yeah. Justin Army is asking if there's any truth to the number of Falcon and Winter Soldier being in the toilet. Honestly, no. Half the people on this chat haven't seen it. People have been stopping by and being like, I don't watch the show. It's too woke. Everyone I've talked to has been like, I don't watch the show. Like I invited several people on and they were like, I'm not watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier right now. Even YouTubers who usually watch Disney stuff so that they can knock down Disney stuff are like, no, I'm not watching this show right now. So I feel like it's trash. Like I had to force myself to watch it because we've been doing this show and I wanted to hang out with the ladies and like actually know what I'm talking about. But if I wasn't doing this show, I would have probably checked out too.
Yeah, I was about ready to say that was when I was thinking about should I watch it, and then I thought, oh wait, I have to because I'm going to be on Nina's on Sunday. Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, it's pretty much the only reason that I'm watching it because I was like, I wanted to see it. And now at this point, now that I've watched 4 of the 6 episodes, I'm gonna watch the next 2 just to be like, okay, let's see what they do with it.
I don't see this bastard to the end.
Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be a Hail Mary though. Like I don't think they're gonna pull like some sort of ending out of their ass. It's gonna be like the most amazing thing we've ever seen. It's just gonna be. I think it's gonna be a freaking crash fire. But I don't know. Predictions. I predict that lady is the whatever.
The power broker.
The power broker. Why do I keep forgetting this name? It's so unmemorable.
Everything's unmemorable about this.
There are things I want to see happen, but they won't happen, so I don't have
the ship.
Expectations. Yeah,
we want some loving.
Oh my god!
Something that'll make Bucky happy for a change.
Make him smile.
Apparently, it's 6 episodes.
Yes, 6.
Yeah. See, everybody thinks she's the power broker. It's funny because since everybody thinks she's the power broker, do you guys think they're gonna do something to like, subvert expectations and it's gonna be like the power broker is like fucking Sam's sister or something?
You know what would be interesting is if, since Sam knows her, can he get her to help his sister get a loan? Is that what we're gonna see happen by the end?
Can I have some of that robbery money for my sister's loan so we can keep boat? Jesus Christ. So what this
Maybe I need to ship Sharon and Sam so that they can get some money.
you know what? I'm gonna ship them. I think they kind of hit it off a little bit. They were like, kind of flirting. She's like, what can you do for me? And he was like, how about I get you your freedom, baby?
Wow.
It's like we have to just make up our own stories.
That sounded like a cheap porno version. Like,
someone should play that back with music. With the porno music.
I got your freedom right here. Oh my God. Okay, well, it's getting late. It's been 2 hours and we're now talking about things that make absolutely no sense. So please tell everyone where they can find you, Jayne.
You can find me here on YouTube, where I post movie and television reviews and occasionally some pop culture commentary. You can also follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram at Jayne Theory. I did just drop a review for a indie film called The Alpines, so check that out.
Well, there you go. Definitely check
Yay.
that out, everyone. The links of everyone in the panels is in the description, including Scott, who never made it. I don't know what happened.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
But that's okay. Hopefully he'll be back with us next week. Maybe he got so bored from the show, he was like,
he fell asleep.
fuck this shit, I'm out. Teresa, tell everyone where they can find you.
You can find me at Miss Martin Muses on YouTube and on Twitter, Teresa2_Martin. I have some Babylon 5 material up, some Lego coming up this week, and I will be on the Expanded Universe Star Wars stream on Open Air Lot Policies this Wednesday night.
Excellent. I love Babylon 5. I'm so happy that you're watching it. I hope you're enjoying that show.
I love it.
It's so good. It's so good. As Jayne says, thank you everyone for joining us this evening. Join us next Sunday as we break down the next crappy episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier and see if we were right, if Sharon is going to be the broker person, power broker person.
I just want them all to die in a big flaming ball of fire.
Except for the Falcon and the Winter
Soldier.
Except for
the Falcon, Winter Soldier, and Zemo.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want Zemo to die? That's so funny.
Oh no, he's awesome.
He's cool. I like
him. I want
him.
He's
the only one that got
well.
stuff done so far. He shot that witch and stomped out the serum. You go.
Yeah, he's been the most useful person in this entire show. Not the Falcon, not the Winter Soldier.
Which is pretty messed up when you think about it.
Yeah, Zemo has just got shit done. Like he killed the doctor, he killed that club lady, he destroyed the serum, he shot this chick, which is exactly what should have been achieved from the beginning. So,
I mean, this is the same guy who got the Avengers to fight each other. So I mean,
that's true.
He's good.
He's good at he's definitely good at what he does.
See, this show makes me curse for crying out loud.
That was amazing. Oh,
usually I save it for D&D.
Yeah, it's true. All right. Well, again, thank you everybody for tuning in today, and we'll catch you guys next week. Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.